guys, how is everyone? You like our background? We're going to be going really fast because both of our batteries are dead. But today we're talking about the topic, which is baby's favorite cryptid.
The Wendigo.
The Wendigo. Okay, I'm going to tell a couple stories and then she's going to give her evidence, but we're going to be moving really fast.
Yeah,
because her battery is about to go dead. All right. This is an anonymous story, so I'm not sure which national park this takes place in, but this really scared me. Okay, there was this man that usually went hunting pretty regular. So one weekend he decided that he was going to take the whole weekend, hike up into the mountains, camp up in the mountains. The first couple days when he was camping up and hiking up into the mountains, everything went pretty regular. Then the second afternoon, it started to rain. So he decided to set his tent up. He got his tent set up. He was sitting down by the tent, building his fire. He looked down this trail and he's seen this human-shaped form step out. And he couldn't realize why a human would be walking around with no clothes on. And the human looked grayish in form.
Like really pale looking?
Yeah, so first he thought his eyes were playing tricks on him. So he decided that he was just going to go ahead, ignore it, because he'd watched it for a while and it never moved. So he decided he was just going to get on in his tent, get him some rest, because it had been a long day. So as he goes to bend down to get in the tent, he decides to give one last look back at this creature, and it moved. That's when he realized that this was something human watching him. So for the next couple days, he drank nothing but coffee.
Oh, he stayed up
for a couple days. And in those couple days, he had doubled how much hiking he had did. So he was trying to put a lot of distance between him and this creature. Finally, a couple days after that, he just had to get some sleep. So he waited during the daytime and he decided to lay down and get some sleep. He must have been asleep for a couple hours and he woke up with some noise. Well, when he sat up in his tent, his book bag was gone. And he forgot to zip the tent up as he went to sleep because he had been watching this thing.
So it had got in there with him.
It had took the book bag. Well, as he was sitting there, he was hearing gibberish outside the tent. But it didn't sound human. But it was talking about food. And it was going through his book bag. And like you said, he was thinking that thing had been in this tent with him. And all he could see was a gray shadow through the tent. And he could just see a shadow. And this thing was talking, saying stuff over and over again. Well, he watched it for a little while. He laid back down. He stayed real still. And then he decided he would just make a sound like as he was moving. You know, just kind of roll over, and the thing stopped. And it stopped talking, and he waited about 15-20 minutes. He still hadn't heard nothing, but he knew that thing was still out there. And he was like, okay, this is it. So he set up real quick, and just as he set up, the thing was looking at him in the tent, in his face. And he said it was gray with a bunch of blue veins, and it had no pupils. And it was looking at him. Well, when he set up, it scared it. So it let out this big screech and took off. So that was it. He was packing his stuff up. He was out.
I would be getting out of there real quick.
Yeah, he was gone. Well, as he was coming down the mountain, he had heard this thing walking beside him the whole time, gibbering to itself. And he was like trying to get out of the woods. Well, he ran into a couple more people, and they're like, they looked at him. They could tell something was kind of wrong with him. He was sweaty. He looked tired. He looked like he hadn't slept in a couple days. And they told him, they was like, why don't you come on with us, camp with us? They had 4-wheelers, 3-wheelers. And he was like, yeah, I'll camp with y'all.
More people.
Yeah, and they was like, you know, the past couple days, we've been hearing some weird noises from the woods. And he was like, let me tell y'all what happened to me. Well, as they was coming out of the woods, other people that they ran in contact with was talking about this gray being that they had ran into.
So it was getting around, and do you think it was the same one, or do you think they could have been others of other people that they were seeing?
I don't know. Alright, that's the only story I'm going to tell today because our battery's running low, and I'm going to let Baby take off with the evidence and how to protect us and how to tell if we're around one. Alright, take it off, Baby.
So, the Wendigo is said to be a malevolent spirit, described as a giant humanoid with a heart of ice, and it has a foul stench. But also, another way that you can tell one is around, it will say that there is a sudden, unseasonable chill that might show that it is approaching. It also lends its name to a psychosis called Wendigo psychosis, which the person inflicted with Wendigo psychosis will have the intense craving for human flesh, but they will also have the fear of becoming a cannibal, resulting in cannibalism. And some Wendigos are described to have antlers or horns. Now here's what kind of shocked me. I've never heard this before. Some Wendigos in like pop culture, they resemble werewolves.
That's crazy. Yeah,
and I would have never thought about that. Now you know the facts about them. We're going to tell you how to protect yourself from one. / kill one. Same difference. Silver bullets. Like a werewolf. And it says, a pure silver blade or stake, and you drive it through the Wendigo's heart.
If you can get close enough.
Yeah, if you're going to have guts to get close enough to something like that, I wouldn't have to. No. It's also believed that a silver-covered steel blade can help if you're in a pinch, if you ain't got nothing else. Now, once you wound the heart, you shatter it into pieces. You lock it in a silver box, and you put that silver box in a church cemetery, and you bury it.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's like double kill right there.
After you do that, you have to dismember the rest of the Wendigo.
Oh,
Make sure you take it apart with a silver-plated axe. And once you do that, you salt and burn the body. You don't want to take no chances of this thing coming back. But once you salt and burn the body, you got to scatter its ashes with the winds. Now make sure you do not, and I mean absolutely, do not skip a step. Because if you skip a step, that Wendigo has the chance of resurrecting itself. And if it resurrects itself, it will hunt you down, and it will inflict a painful and a very slow death.
That means it will only be out to get you.
Mm-hmm. He's on a revenge trip. If you don't finish the job, he's coming for you.
Oh.
And he's going to make the last few seconds of your life very, very short, but very miserable.
All right, guys. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we got for today. I'm sorry we were in such a hurry, but our battery's about to go down.
Battery problems, man.
But our library, we're working on everything for our library, so you'll get to see it soon. And I hope everybody has a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Baby's channel. And this will also be on Baby's channel also.
Exactly. Stay safe, my friends. You never know what's out there.